Afternoon, friends. I trust that we are all okay this afternoon. We thank God once again that He has given us another chance to be alive and to hear what He has to tell us this afternoon. As I've said this before, that this Bible is a manual for our lives. And the reason why things are what they are is because the manual has been put aside. So I will always say this time and again that let's get back to the manual. Let's get back to the maker of a human being, a maker of you and me. He has the best instructions, the best advice for the problems that we have. So today we are looking at the story of Noah once again. We pick it up in chapter 9 after the flood. And so let's hear what happened after the flood. Verse 1 of chapter 9 says, "So God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, 'Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth.'" And I think when we think of what happened back in chapter 6, as the population of the earth exploded, we know what happened. People became evil and evil and evil continually. And we find that in chapter 9, because people had been destroyed by the flood, so in chapter 9, God gives another instruction to Noah. He says to him and his sons, he says, be fruitful and multiply. And fill the earth. And verse 2 says, "And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be on every beast of the earth, and every bird of the air, and all that move on the earth, and on all the fish of the sea. They are given into your hand." God says, be fruitful and multiply, and I've given everything that is on the earth into your hand. In other words, you are in control of everything that is on the earth, the animals, the earth itself. So you are in control. You are the manager of this earth. You are the manager of the animals. You are the manager of the fish, of the sea. You are in charge of everything. And God says, he continues in verse 3, he says, "Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you." He says that every moving thing shall be food for you. I have given you all the things, even as the green herbs. God says everything that is moving is yours, and even the green herbs I've given you. And when God gives instructions, he wants us to follow all the instructions. We can't pick and choose the instructions that we want. Just like when we are following a manual, we can't pick things that we like, or we can't pick some of the things and leave some. We have to pick up everything that has to do with that manual, that has to do with that item that the manual is for. So God also when he gives instructions, he gives us the instructions that he knows will help us. So we can't pick others and leave others out, because otherwise we will have problems if we do that. So verse 4 says, but you shall not eat flesh with its blood. That is its blood. That is its blood. Rather, but you shall not eat flesh with its life. That is its blood. So in other words, you are saying to them, when you kill an animal, make sure that you drain all the blood. Don't eat that meat or that flesh with its blood, because the blood represents life. So you shall not do that. So these are the instructions that God was giving to Noah and his family. He says that the things that move on the earth are yours. You shall have them for food, and the herbs, the green herbs, are yours also. And he gives them instructions. He says, when you kill these animals, make sure you drain all the blood. Don't eat that meat with blood. And he says that surely for your lifeblood I will demand a reckoning. From the hand of every beast I will require it, and from the hand of man. From the hand of every man's brother I will require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed, for the image of God he made man. So God is giving instructions, obviously after what happened in chapter 6. So in chapter 9, he says to Noah, people should not kill each other. No violence, Mr. Noah, and your family. And make sure that you pass this message to your descendants. Make sure that they know that they are not supposed to kill, because anyone that kills will be killed also, because man was made in the image of God. So he is not to be killed by another man who also was made in the image of God. So in other words, God was saying, respect life. He said it then, he still says it now. Even in our time, in the 21st century, in 2021, God still says, don't shed another man's blood. Don't kill another man, or don't kill another woman. Because these people were made in my image. So don't kill them. So God is still giving the same instructions even in our time. But do man listen? Do man follow those instructions? We see that there is so much killing. There is so much disregard for life. It is because man has rebelled. Just like in chapter 6, man has rebelled, as it was in the days of Noah. so will it be in the days of the Son of Man. What we are seeing is what was prophesied. The Bible has said that in the last days, the love of many shall grow cold. There will be wars. There will be pestilences. We are in the pandemic, the coronavirus. All those are signs that were predicted by God, who said in the last days, these things will happen. The love of man will grow cold. There will be earthquakes. There will be famines. There will be droughts. There will be disasters by land, disasters by sea, disasters by air. These were all predicted. And this manual, I still recommend it to us, even this time around. So God says to Noah, be fruitful and multiply, and bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply it. Then God spoke to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and as for me, behold, I will establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you, and every living creature that is with you, the birds, the cattle, and every beast of the earth with you, and of all that go out of the ark, every beast of the earth. Thus I establish my covenant with you. Never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of the flood. Never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. And God in his mercy says to Noah, it's not going to happen again. I'm not going to destroy this earth by another flood again. And God said, this is the sign of the covenant which I make between me and you, and every living creature that is with you, for perpetual generations. I set my rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be for a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. It shall be when I bring a cloud over the earth, and that the rainbow shall be seen in it. And I will remember my covenant which is between me and you, and every living creature of all flesh. The waters shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. So God establishes a covenant, an agreement with Noah. He says that I will not destroy the earth with water again. But God also required Noah and his descendants to follow the commandments, to follow the instructions that he had given them. He said to them they should be fruitful and multiply. He gave them food in form of animals and the herbs, and he gave them instructions on how to kill the animals. So those were the instructions that they were supposed to follow. They were supposed to depend on God. They were supposed to trust God in everything that they were doing. They were supposed to obey God in everything that they were doing. That was the covenant that God made with Noah. The covenant of love. And as we think about the story of Noah, we think of his faithfulness when he was living in that generation that was evil. He was faithful. And God is calling me and you to be faithful even in our generation, the generation that is evil. He is calling us to be true, to be faithful. I challenge us this afternoon that we live lives that are consecrated to God. Let's be the children that will obey our Maker, obey our God. May God bless us and keep us and help us to follow the instructions and also to cherish the manual that He has given us, which is the Bible. May God bless us abundantly, friends. Amen.